excited to be here with these cats today. Here's another episode of Top Contractor School, the podcast. As always, I got my man, my co-pilot over there, my best friend, Mr. Kevin Gray from ADC Paving. And today, I got these boys, the Raised on Blacktop boys from American Pavement.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, sir.
Want to start on the left over there and introduce yourselves to the audience?
I'm Jack. I'm one of the oldest brothers.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm the youngest.
I'm Josh, 29, number 3.
There you go, man. That's a whole family of blacktop.
Yeah,
Raised on blacktop.
There's 4 of us, but only three today. So
I had to stay home and take care of business. So.
There you go. Always got to keep one man behind, right?
Yeah,
Take care of things. So we're going to jump into it, guys. We wanted to bring these guys to you. They're doing big things in our industry, and we wanted to highlight them. So first and foremost, I give you guys a ton of credit just for the quality of work that you do, the marketing presence, everything about your company is first class, and that is a great reflection.
We're live, baby. We're live. We're rolling.
We'll just roll with that. I don't even know what that was, but
Tight pitch.
But at any rate, I want to give you guys credit for the presence that you have, the marketing, just the overall appearance of your company, man. It's a great reflection on you guys as a company, but more importantly on your family, and I know that's important to you guys. And so, congratulations on that. And I wanted to jump in with a couple of questions. So, tell us the story. How did the company start in the first place? It's on you said 4th generation, right?
Yeah, so my grandfather started paving when he was about 8. He started with his uncle back in the early 50s.
Right.
And they graduated to a company that worked with his brother-in-law. They split, started another business. My father obviously joined that company when he was like 14, 15. Paved with him until he was in his mid-20s. Broke off from there. Started American Pavement in 1992. Matty was born in 92, so
I'm the AP baby.
he was the AP baby. That was like that celebration. We've been on job sites since we were young.
I think I was conceived on the back of a Leroy 8500. Put it that way.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, for real. Yep.
How old are you now,
I'm 33.
Okay.
Maddie's what, 27?
Yeah, I'm 27.
I'm 29.
Well,
The oldest.
my oldest brother's 35.
Okay, I'm just a couple of years older than you guys.
We're a pack of Stanleys. So.
Yeah. And so, how does it feel to be literally raised on blacktop? Raised in this industry. A lot of people look at this industry, I believe, differently today than they did back in the day. Right? It's a whole different world.
That's
but
true.
tell us the stories about how it feels and what that experience was like being a kid riding on the back of a paver.
Well, we didn't have much of a...
Yeah, to be honest, we don't know any different. That's the way we were raised. Even growing up, we all played sports growing up. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't all blacktop. So there were sports in between. But even that, we were 12 years old. We had a game at 3 o'clock. We went to work with Dad in the morning.
We went to work until about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then Mom came and picked us up and brought us to the game, and we showed up to the game, and we're covered. We got shit on our hands.
Right.
It wasn't so much that our dad forced us to do it, but it was like we wanted to roll with Dad. We wanted to go lay blacktop with boys, and
definitely
wanted to get in the truck with Dad in the morning.
Right.
Right.
Sure. I'm sure you have that.
Yeah.
So we could really give our dad a lot of credit. Just for incentivizing us to come. And we were never talked down upon. And he always.
He's always teaching.
Yeah.
Always teaching.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking about my own family. I have 3 boys. So, my daughter is extremely interested in this business too. But I've got my little guy, my 2-year-old. He comes in the office every day, crawls up on my lap and says, I want to work, Dad. I want to work.
Yeah. Get him.
Literally got to kick him out.
Got to get him a broom. Get him a broom.
So to hear you guys talk about that is a pretty cool thing, and just massive credit to your parents, man. I mean, above everything else, the marketing, the company, all that stuff. Your parents raised great children.
Yeah, they raised us well, and we were raised on blacktop, really, right?
Yeah, and all this marketing and all this social media now. This is really so after the fact.
Right.
They didn't really see those early years of when we didn't even have a camera, you know.
Yep.
Like we find camera pictures in the basement now, and you're like, wow, like
that my mom just got developed.
yeah, yeah. But like literally, you'll see an old truck that we thought was like the most badass truck going, and we're looking at it now like look at where we are now. Like
26 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Now, 27 years ago. He started with a 1-ton dump truck and a backhoe, and he blew it up to what it is now, if that.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like what's the story? You know, your dad's story maybe, and getting you guys now more involved. Obviously.
My dad's story, you know, he started small. Obviously, his father was in the business, so like when he got a big job, you know, they'd come on and help him. But my dad made it a point to start small. You know, he didn't take on jobs that were bigger than him. You know, he wasn't. He could tell you probably better, but he wasn't really renting machines. You know, he did what he did with what he had. You know,
he did a lot of work
really
by hand.
important.
Everything was by hand.
We got a funny story. Like his first job, he always tells us it was a 6-ton driveway, right?
Yeah.
He said
Ripped it out by hand.
he ripped it out by hand, threw it on the truck, went to the asphalt plant, got the blacktop.
He bought 3-ton.
Yeah.
Right.
He bought 3-ton, and he did it in 2 layers, so he wouldn't have a seam.
Yeah.
You know, he did an inch and a half and an inch and a half for the 3 inches.
Yeah.
So there was no seam. He didn't want to do, you know.
And
break it up.
the funny thing about that story is that my brother actually just bought a house in the neighborhood where he did the job. So like when my brother bought the house, he pulled up and he's like, "See that house right there?" He's like, "That's the first job American Pavement ever laid."
Right.
And he was by himself. He did it by
But
himself.
the important thing is he's an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and you want to work for yourself.
Yep.
You know, he collected that check, and that check was, you know, the most important thing, and obviously you know that.
Well, I think that you know, you just told it in the story. You know, that attention to detail and pride that he took in that job is still there. It's still there today. You know, and I think that's so cool that you know he only grew at his pace on his terms, without debt or renting equipment. You know, so now I'm big enough to go buy, you know, a single axle dump truck. Now, you know what I mean? Like that's
I'll tell you what I think is badass about our industry is when you see families of your size, families of my size, and being completely supported from your own grit, from your own work, from your own, you know, and you know, when I started my company, the Pavement Group, you know, I had multiple children already, and people were like, "Are you out of your mind, man?" So I'm sure same thing for your dad. It's like, you know, people are like, "What are you doing, man? Go get a job or go do this."
Go get a job with insurance.
But I can assure you, you said your dad's 55, right?
Kevin, you got dental?
He's 55.
What's that?
You got dental?
Even in Kentucky, man?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got our first dentist. He just opened his practice 2019.
But you know, it's funny, man, because I'm sure at 55, your dad looks back now and sees the journey. And,
My mom as well, though. She was a big part of the office.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Still is. Still is. She still.
I don't
runs the
think
office
without
by
her
herself.
we wouldn't be where we are.
it's true in my family too, brother. And yours.
She the glue?
She is not only the glue, but she is a lot of the brains. I mean, you gotta think, we are
the shit
the
that we don't
muscle.
wanna do.
Yeah, we're the muscle. We're out there putting the blacktop down. She's making sure the bills are paid, the taxes are paid, DOT.
Yeah, make sure that our
IFTA,
DOT inspections, our registrations are good, our
bills are paid.
and then
That's one big
getting
thing.
the occasional text message that somebody's driving too fast. One of them things. You know,
GPS tracking.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. And she's on top of all of it. So
Everyone needs that wolf in the office.
yeah,
You know?
and she's
for sure.
definitely
She's
the wolf.
the wolf.
She's the wolf.
So if you could go back and tell your 15-year-old self something, knowing what you know now when you know started in this business, what would your advice be if you got to go back and start all over again?
I could probably say that. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that long ago. You know, just because like growing up, you know, we started so young, it all kind of feels like a blur. And I feel like we're still on that journey, you know, just because like I'm around my grandfather still, and I still hear the stories about
How he worked.
When he worked with a shovel and a rake and TAM shoots, you know. So it's like the humble beginnings, they're still there. You know, even though we had state-of-the-art equipment, you know, I don't take that for granted. You know, a couple months, you know, you have a bad couple months and you don't know what can happen, you know. But that's how we roll.
That grit, man, is what it takes in this business, you know. And that's, I have so much respect, man. And I know, you know, people look from the outside in and they see the shiny trucks and you guys washing your trucks at the asphalt plant, and everybody has something to say about that. But what they don't see is your grandfather doing what he did, your dad ripping out a driveway by hand and putting it in 2 lifts, and teaching those lessons, right? And it's that fabric, those values, they cannot be replaced. There is nothing that will duplicate that in your business. And so that's honestly, man, when you guys put the Raised on Blacktop brand out there, I was hopefully one of the first people to order it, because I believe in what you do, right? And I believe in the story, because I know what that looks like. You know, my dad was a steel worker. You know, blue collar, man. I'm from Pittsburgh, and that's how we roll too. We roll our sleeves up, get it done, man, whatever it takes kind of mentality. And that's what it takes in this business, you know, and nobody gets there. Nobody gets dropped on top of the mountain.
Right. And if you do get dropped, you're not going to be there long.
Yeah, you won't stay. Because you don't know how to climb.
People think that we have these shiny trucks and we just roll around in our pickups all day, and that's not true. Like, we come home, and you can ask my wife. I come home and I look like a coal miner. I come home and I'm covered in dirt and oil and dust, and she actually loves the smell of it, so it all works out. But she's like, you smell like money,
so what drove you guys to kind of take that step towards more exposure on social media? You guys have come a long way just since I've been following you, and that's not easy either, right? It's a very difficult thing to get out there and put yourself out there. So what was it that drove you guys to do that?
It was little by little. Actually, I mean, even before Instagram, it was Facebook, right?
Right.
So like we just started posting pictures on Facebook, and you can go even farther before that. Like just keeping the trucks clean. Like people would like call you, be like, "Oh, I just saw your truck," and so the attention was kind of already there, And once we gained a little traction, it just opened up some more doors. Like you could build tons of relationships from Instagram and from any social media platform. And
that's why we're here.
Our main goal here is like we really like not only like gain exposure with you guys, but like with manufacturers, because that's the backbone of our business, is the machines that we're running, So that was a big.
And how does it feel? Kind of, you put that stuff out there. I know how it feels for me, but I just want to hear from you guys. Like, how does it feel? You see those machines that you work so hard, your whole family works so hard to get to. And you see those on video, and you see the comments of people.
So Maddie, it's no secret, he runs the Instagram account. Like he is,
he's the brains behind it.
The genius behind the account.
Yeah, he's a genius.
I find myself on our page more than anything. Like I'm on my own page.
Yeah, you like get home and like watch it.
I'm going home, I'm go through and watch my storyline, watch our videos, watch what he's posted, and I'm just like, this is.
I hear it all the time. My wife's like, shut it off. Stop looking at it. You were there 20 minutes ago. Like, what do you need to look at that again for? I'm like, I like looking at it. That's why it's fun. It's good to look at.
But like your question, you say like, what do we think of the machines? Like looking at it, like I'm looking at guys that are like $100 million companies that have 12 of the pavers we have. So I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Just getting started.
Yeah, we only have a little piece.
Just a little piece of it.
I mean, we all have only a little piece.
Right.
That's right. Like there's a lot of blacktop in this world.
It's a huge industry.
But we're coming for it.
A few $1 trillion industry.
What is it?
$1 trillion industry.
Multiple trillion.
Multiple.
I don't know if you know your history about blacktop, but did you know we went to war over the Lake of Trinidad? That's where they got the tar originally back in the early 1900s. They went to Trinidad. They took this tar out of this lake, and we put soldiers there to defend this tar because we were building roads and Route 66 and the cars and everything. Everything that came up with blacktop. It was like all the lines, all the stars came together. For that.
So let's talk production. So from when you guys were young, right, until today, and obviously machinery has changed quite a bit. So you got digital controls on everything, and different types of trucks. So talk about that kind of evolution and what you guys have seen and what it looks like for you guys today as far as the state of the art stuff that you guys use.
So when we started, I started on a broom. That was
literally. You
have to learn. The way our company scales, like you start as a laborer, you move to a shovel, then you get blessed and say, okay, now you could
grab the rig.
And then once you learn those key aspects, then you can go to certain machines and things.
Roller, skid steer,
but as the machinery progressed, obviously installation practices got better, compaction practices got better. You know, we're laying jobs now that are seamless because we can get, you know, 200-300 ton there at one time.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know.
Yeah, we bring about 250 ton of clip to a job.
Right. I mean, if you're laying a 400 or a 400 ton job, you know, that's 2 rounds of blacktop.
You guys have how many trucks in your fleet?
12,
Something like that. We do
Yeah, huge piece of
Man, they're pretty too.
Yeah.
and damn, we got a couple more coming. So
We go through a lot of soap. A lot of Dawn soap.
a lot of
Buy
soap.
stock in Dawn soap.
don't stop. Don't tell them that.
Don't tell them the secrets. But how has it changed, you know, from the time that you guys first started, you know, installing and how you guys had to personally work versus what that
Everything
looks
has
like
to-
now? And I asked that question for a reason. I think a lot of people, there's a labor shortage in our country, right? And so a lot of people from outside our industry maybe don't look at it because they look at it differently than they look at it like it used to be, right? So when you guys first started and everything was done by hand, or a lot more of it was done by hand versus now, talk about the differences there.
I would just say like more so with the technology of the machines. I'd say it's definitely harder to train someone in.
Yep.
You know, you're not learning on a.
Not learning on an old blown ox paver with hand
manual
controls.
hydraulics.
Yeah, manual hydraulics.
Right.
You know, we got milling machines and pavers that are remote controlled now. It's insane what these machines can do.
So I think now more than ever, it's important to get young blood in your
for
company.
sure, for sure.
Because some of these old guys, they're learning the new machines, but not as quickly as they should.
Yeah, sure.
And,
And a lot of our
it's intimidating.
And a lot of our older guys that have been working with us for 20 plus years, they see the new stuff and they're like, you know, they kind of
intimidating.
it's intimidating to them, you know. So, you know, we get on it and it's, you know, a couple things and you.
Yeah, and kudos to my father too. He was like never the old timer that was like,
Oh, we don't need that.
that electronics is shit, you know,
Yeah,
or this
wow,
thing or
yeah.
that. He's like, no, like we got to learn this.
So many
This is the
generations
future.
get held back that way.
Do it.
Oh,
You know,
huge. That's
oh,
huge.
They think new or change is bad.
Yeah.
So this is how we
sure.
did it back in our day. It's
Yeah.
very
we don't know if
innovative
it's
of them.
true, but he says he was the first guy to have a Leeboy paver in Connecticut.
Yeah,
That's what he
Wow.
said.
That's his.
He
Wow.
said everybody
We'll take him at his
everybody
word.
ran
Yeah.
blown oxes and
Yeah, sure.
and they
you get
laughed
laughed at.
at him because he had a Leeboy paver and I mean and then all of a sudden you turn around, you know, 30 years later and it's if they don't a company like $100 million company doesn't have a Leeboy paver, that's like weird that they don't have one, you know, like because they need to have one just to you know do a patch or you know do a little driveway with it, whatever, you know.
Have you guys seen an easier draw of talent to your company from the marketing and social media and the presence, you know, the equipment, all that stuff that you guys have put out there? Has it been easier to attract talent as a result of that?
we've been flirting with it. You know, we haven't dug deep into it. We're
Our turnover is very slow.
yeah,
We have our first employee still works for us today.
second, third, and fourth.
Second, third, and fourth employees still all work for us.
Yeah.
I mean, 25, 26-year employees
that
that,
says
you know,
something.
just stay because, you know,
Why do they stay? What's
obviously,
because-
no, it's not that. It's, you know, Dad he's a beast. Like, you want to be around our father. You know,
Yeah.
he's out there every
The
day.
goat,
Like,
I heard.
he's the
He's
goat.
the goat. He is.
You know, and my mom, you know, she makes paychecks are there.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
whether, you know, we got money in the checkbook or not, you know, $1 million fucking, you know, asphalt bills, you may not have the money in the checkbook.
Right.
But they make
Right.
sure the checks are there. You know, every Friday, never miss a payment.
So one of my guys said that. He said, he's 20, 30 years, he's been with my father, whatever, it was 27 years. He said, I've never not had a check. He's like, your dad always has a check. You know, it's always there.
It's
So,
always there. And whenever they need.
And
You
I
know,
think a
mean,
big thing
It goes beyond work. You
They're
know,
family,
I mean,
they're family.
Family. I mean,
Just to
they
expand
buy a
on
house.
that.
You know, we help with the homes and
Yeah.
driveways. And,
Right. Just to expand on that, like we just growing up, like we never told our guys to do something that we would never do.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's a trench being dug, we're right next to them, and that goes a long way with people.
There's
like,
a toilet bowl
not-
getting cleaned in the shop, we'll do it. Like,
That's huge.
we will, we'll do it.
How would you describe the culture inside the company?
I'd
Like,
call
what's
it,
the personality?
You know what it
of it?
reminds me of? Like the New England Patriots. That's what it feels like. You
It's
know,
what it looks like.
like
too.
next
So, yeah.
next man up. That next man up. No matter who it is. You know, if I like a good example, like those 3-wheel brooms we run.
Yep.
Like say I'm sweeping a road, you know, we're getting ready to pave. If I got a guy that's blowing the curb line, you know, what's he making? 13, 14, 15, 16 dollars an hour. I'm explaining to him what I'm doing as I'm doing it. You know,
So that
just-
when
With the expectation that he's going to be running the broom.
Yeah, so when he can't be on the broom, he could say, yo, go jump on that broom and, you know, sweep the rest of that road off, and he's going to do it, and he's going to do it the right way that we want it done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
that's just an
it's what it is,
example of
it's
the
next man
culture. But when we bring on new guys, you know, we've had so many guys that have been there for years. It's like you don't even have to explain the culture to them; they know what it is. You know, our culture is, if we're working for an inspector, impress that inspector, not impress them, like wow them. I want to wow them and pull up and have like a well-oiled machine. You know, the guys they don't stop working. We don't take lunch. We barely take.
We don't know what that means. Lunch is, my dad would say, lunch is for women and children.
No,
It's for women and children.
and some people
They
don't want to
come up and say, when you taking lunch?
it.
When you taking lunch? We're not.
Like, don't get me wrong, the guys eat, you know.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Blacktop.
There's always a
Yeah, I
moment
mean,
to
you're
eat
waiting
in
on.
there.
I mean, what do? We wait on trucks.
Yeah.
It's hurry up and wait. You wait on trucks all day.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, if short and sweet, like the New England Patriots, next man up. That's
Right,
it.
but it's also kind of like I don't want to say military-like, but like my dad is number 1 on the paving crew. I'm number 2. He's number 3. Jack runs the milling crew.
I do all the
and
milling and
reclaiming.
reclaiming, so.
So like when my dad's there, I fall in line. You know,
Right.
if he leaves, guess what? I'm stepping up.
Right.
He's,
Yeah.
you know, what did you say? What's
yeah,
the
I always
example?
joke. I always joke. So if we're on the pavement crew, right, and Jack's not there, and say my dad's there, right? Say we
That
got
means he's number 3.
1,200 ton going down, and my dad's there, he's there, so I'm number 3. I gotta rebound and hit that corner 3.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And if my dad leaves to go check on him or go check on a job or meet a client, I gotta step up to be that number 2. And if he's gone, I gotta step up to be the number 1 and.
Right, but that goes all the way down. Like
All
we
the
have
way
a
down.
guy.
Yeah.
We have a guy. Our cousin,
All the way down to the broom.
all the way down the broom. I mean,
That's the key.
we talk about promotion out of necessity. You know, you are becoming a raker today because we don't have a raker today. You know, you've shoveled for 6 months, but guess what? You're going to run a scratch rake.
Yeah, he's sick today,
Or a
so
brake
you're gonna,
rake,
you're
whatever
gonna
you want to call it. We call it a
Step up.
scratch rake. And then you move to the loop, and it's a pattern. And we don't try to. I don't think we've ever hired a paver operator. No, right? Like we hire laborers, and our laborers grow and grow.
They turn into
and grow.
operators.
And you know, and our hope and dream is that every person that works for us is making 150 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to pay you 150 grand a year because I want to be making 300 grand.
But you got to be worth it.
But you got to be worth it.
You got to be worth your weight. I mean, you got to show up and you got to do
There's
your
a
job.
process to that.
And there's a process, and you got to
trust that
fall
has
in
to be
line,
earned.
and there's trust, right?
Yeah.
And you know, guess what? If that sidewalk needs to be swept, the guy that's making $80,000-$90,000 a year, he's going to sweep it, no problem.
Sure.
And no questions
problem.
asked.
No questions asked.
No questions
because
asked.
they
He's just gonna
understand
grab a broom and do
that,
it.
like you said, the culture is that the quality of American pavement is like no other.
Yeah.
It's like no other.
I always say, like, our thing is, like, it's our image backed by our performance.
Right.
You know, you roll up with the shiny trucks, it looks good, but if you don't perform, it's like, look
it
at these
means
guys.
nothing.
You could laugh at them.
I just paid because they have chrome wheels on their truck.
But when you got shiny trucks,
paid them for that.
and the job gets done like that, and even the drivers are waxing their truck, it's like, it's that wow
And, you know,
factor.
it's funny too because when we're working, if there's an inspector there, or if there's 3 guys that work for the condo association that have white hard hats on, our guys work harder. It's they know that people are watching and they're like they're on
stage,
it.
man.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You're
You're
on
on
stage.
stage,
You're on
100%.
stage.
I want to get red
Absolutely.
ropes. I want to get red ropes.
It
I don't
almost
want no
seems
caution
like-
tape. I want
all
red
right.
ropes. I want to go pave in LA.
Red ropes. He
Red
wants,
ropes.
he wants to get rid of caution tape and put red ropes up.
Why not? Well, I think that's great that the guy, their crew, like they understand that yes, they work for your father and for you guys, but like they're working for that consumer, that customer. That's what really matters. That's what gets you the next job.
And we're
in another generation. You know what I mean?
yeah,
right. We're heavy invested in our customers. We don't really look for new work. You know, we're not on these websites that are pulling down jobs. Like obviously, every once in a while we'll bid like a BJ's. But our work comes from our customers that have been built for 25, 26 years.
Recurring revenue business.
His
yes.
cell phone
Right.
never stops ringing.
It's funny, man. 'cause
It's all off the cell phone.
You guys know I train people in sales, and so I tell them, like, if you do it right in this business, it truly becomes a recurring revenue business. Right? It is over and over and over again. You're going to get the same repeat customers, and you guys are a gleaming example of that. And you know, it's awesome to sit here and listen to this story and like how much alignment it has with what I already viewed Right?
That's
There's
good.
nothing
That's-
that I'm hearing here that surprises me from what I've seen online or talked to you guys about. Like, it's awesome, man. And I think that it's even better that it's that family feel, right? That there's the pride of American Pavement. It might as well have your name on it. It's not your name, but it might as well be.
Yeah,
because,
that's number one. Right.
Because the name is so aligned with your family, right? If you were to, you got an opportunity here, right? You're in front of a camera, on a podcast. You get a chance to say, something to your mom and dad about, what they've done for you guys.
I'm not going to say because I'll cry.
Look at their faces,
Josh will get
though.
Josh will get teary-eyed.
You know what I could say to my mom? When I fell down, like, thank you for being. You're all right. Get up.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm glad my mom and dad tell you, get up. You're not hurt. Get up.
Yeah.
First, I want to say we're blessed to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, all we were given was an opportunity.
Yeah.
You want to work, come to work. 15, 14 years old, making $400 or $500 a week is a lot of money for a 15-year-old. But you gotta fucking work.
He made you earn it.
Right.
You earn that money.
And I remember getting yelled at 15, at 16, at 17, at 18, at 19, at 20. We got yelled at a lot for not working fast enough.
That shit worked, huh?
I guess.
Time will tell.
It's real
Time will tell.
We'll see.
But what does it mean to be able to work for a company that really is your name, right? And having your parents, kind of pave that path, and like you said, you earn every inch of it. But to be able to have that opportunity, I can't imagine what that feels like.
Yeah, I'd say it's easy to get up in the morning. You got something.
Yeah.
Especially with social media now, people are watching. I make sure my shit's clean Monday morning.
Oh yeah, we roll into the plant and I see my truck's dirty, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
If my truck's rolling to the plant and I pull in behind them and I see there's not armor on those tires and the wheels aren't clean, I'm mad.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
But
It pisses me off. It does. It really does.
and it's not like you're yelling at the drivers. I'm staying after Monday night. You guys see it on social media. 6:30, 7 o'clock Monday night.
Those aren't
the
things.
truck.
That's us. We go in Saturday morning and it's me, these guys and maybe one or two guys, and we clean 20 trucks. We go in and we clean them and armor all and make sure that they're ready to go for Monday morning. That's how we roll. I mean, that's how we want it. That's how we want to be. People call and say, my mom will say, "How'd you get our number?" And I saw your truck riding down the highway. That's a huge part.
Moving billboards, right?
It's moving billboards.
Pretty sure they stand out too. I mean, you see construction and contractors in all towns across America. I mean, you see the ones like that. Everybody's.
And we'll hear it for customers all the time.
Even other contractors, you know what it takes, so you respect them.
Yep.
Yeah,
No doubt. So you have kids already, right?
I have two.
You got
One on the way. I got one on the way. I got one on the way.
He's got one on the way. I got one on the way.
Yeah.
So give your kids some advice on what it's like to be raised on blacktop. What are they getting into? So when they grow up and they can listen to this.
Grab
a broom.
Yeah. Me and my wife have talked about this, and we've said I want them to learn how I learned and how we grew up. I want them to learn that. But if they decide that it's not for them, then it's not for them. And if that's what they choose, that's what they choose. But they're gonna learn this, and they're gonna get out there and they're gonna work their asses off. They're gonna get a broom, they're gonna get a shovel, and that's it. I mean,
my dad always said growing up, you don't have to do blacktop, but I'm gonna teach you how to work.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Mom raised us
Mom
raised us to 14.
12, 13 years old,
Dad
and
made
she
us
said, now they're yours. Take them, make amends. You know what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. So, I mean, I think
getting
they
up
did a
every
pretty
day,
good job.
5 o'clock in the morning is not easy.
That's the hardest part.
That's the hardest
up.
part of my day is put my feet on the floor.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Right?
I wake up and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this, but I get up every day.
It's awesome, man.
But once you're there, I mean,
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
it's electric.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
As soon as you smell that blacktop, right?
Right, and the best part about being in family business, if I have an off day, he picks me up, or he picks me up. I don't have to be 100% every day because I have these guys.
Yeah,
That's culture.
Strength in numbers.
That's culture.
That's culture.
That's culture.
Yeah. That's why we were explaining, on the flight here, I was like, I know they're going to ask about culture, what are we going to say? And I was like, I feel like it's so instilled in us that we don't even realize we're
we
doing
don't even
it.
know we're doing it. Exactly. Exactly.
Magic.
And I don't know if that's the brother bond, the family environment, or what.
I think it's aligned values, man. because I think it goes, you know, from my perspective as I'm sitting here listening to you guys, like, I feel like we have some of that too, you know, and we will have that with you guys. You know, it's like once you get that circle of people, whether they're your blood or not, when you align values, man, when you're taught the same things, you believe the same things, you're going the same direction, it's easy to pull that fuel from each other, right? When you're having a bad day. And that's the most powerful thing that's happened in my life, was getting those people. You guys had it built in, right? Having each other and having a family, you know, but
being blessed.
Absolutely, and it's an incredible thing in our industry to be able to have that, right? To be able to reach out to each other, and you know, from us to you guys, it's an honor to have you, you know, in our circle.
Honor to be here, right?
And
this
you know,
is awesome. That we get to do
for
this.
me, man, it's cool to watch, you know, somebody who has that level of something going on. But you guys stay so humble and so, you know, involved every single day, still washing your trucks and all that stuff. And so there's just a high level of respect that I have for that. I know Kevin does as well. One last question. You get one word to describe American Pavement. What is it?
Yeah!
Go ahead. Can you go? I don't know.
I got two. Is beast mode.
That's 2 words.
That's why I have 2 words.
I think
I'd say
that's
a word now.
Beast mode. Yeah, that's
probably in the dictionary.
I got one. Performance.
Performance? I'd say quality.
Yeah.
Performance.
But also, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, that's like, you know, when we're working, he says, yeah. Like, he's, you know, my father, he's whipping us.
Let's go.
What would your word to describe them be?
To describe them? Wow.
The wow factor. Right?
I mean, it's wow. I mean, you and it's cool. You brought it up. Like you see it on social, and you see it like, but to be sitting here with you, like, you feel it. You feel their passion. You feel their culture. You feel their energy. You feel their brotherhood, and I'm pretty sure that goes in their whole business too. How many employees do you got? How many are in your organization?
15 total.
15. How many aren't family?
How many aren't family?
Well, we have 2
9
cousins.
aren't family.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's 2 cousins.
8.
But they feel like family.
Oh,
yeah.
4 of them have been there since 1992.
Right.
My word would be excellence, man.
Excellent.
When I see those trucks, I see the branding, I see the detail, and I see the passion that you guys have for, you know, that's what you think is excellence.
Yeah, and you know, you see the finished product, but you like we get along, but we fight.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I would hope so.
Oh yeah, we have
hope
our
so.
arguments like everybody. I mean, you know, it's 100 degrees and you're standing on hot blacktop. What do you think's
You know,
gonna happen?
I've walked away from jobs and get to the end jobs and I'd be like, I gotta go back there. I can't leave them hanging like that. You know.
Yeah.
Who's the most cranky?
Me?
For sure.
Who's the jokester?
I think I'm the, I don't know if I'm going to say I'm the
Josh
most
is probably
serious.
the most
but-
consistent. Being the younger brother, I always had to add light to the situation. You know, make someone laugh, or you know, I got the chance to be able to stand back a little bit and choose my path, and you know.
And who's the mediator?
I don't know, you're kind of the mediator too now.
Yeah, I used to be the hothead, but now I kind of like backed off a little
sorry,
bit.
in your
Now
old
I'm
age?
the one that's like, oh, whoa,
Jack,
guys.
You're the therapist.
Jack's cranky, but he's not a hothead.
Yeah.
Hothead's probably me and him.
Yeah.
He's probably the one breaking up the fights all the time.
Yeah.
Well, boys, it has been
You go over there. That's it.
it has been an absolute pleasure having you guys on, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for talking about everything.
And,
Shirts.
before we let
brought
you go,
some
I
for
brought you guys some shirts.
Check these
Raised on
out.
Blacktop shirts.
Awesome.
The new ones, the new fire.
Ah, there we go,
Uh-oh.
man. Look at that.
We got Raised on Blacktop on the front,
Thank you, boys. Holy smokes.
Team USA in the back, and we talked about collaborating and like, you know, having the same values. I got Expo on here. I met Will at the Pavement Expo last year.
He's over
Yeah,
there.
they-
He's
I
over
saw
there.
him.
He's over here
walking past
somewhere,
here, yeah.
and you know, we hit it off. Our values aligned, and you know, it's that excellence mentality. And we always said whatever it takes. You know, and actually, it's funny when we took a picture. He captioned whatever it takes, and I didn't even plan it, but I put that on the shirt. And look at that.
That is
A
our
year
company
later.
motto, by the way.
There you go.
Literally talked about it yesterday. Thank you, guys. I
Thank you
appreciate
guys so
you.
much. That means a lot.
So we are coming at you live from NPE 2020 right here at the Rhino Works booth. And man, we look forward to seeing everybody. So as this video gets out, and the podcast gets launched, man, I can't wait for people to listen to this and listen to the feedback and hear you guys' story.
Yeah.
And look forward to the parents are intent, so we get to meet the parents.
they're gonna
tonight.
be
But
here shortly.
also future relationships.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hopefully
For sure.
we can do some business together.
Absolutely.
I
man.
still feel like even the whole social media, right? We're just scratching the surface here. We're still so early. I don't even know what the future's gonna bring. It could be something totally
Big things, bro.
big thing.
Big
Hell
things.
yeah.
Big things. Well, wishing you guys the best. And right here from Nashville, NPE 2020. Thank you guys for tuning in to Top Contractor School, the podcast. Thank you to these guys for joining us, man, and spending time here out of their busy day here at the show. Thank you, as always, to my main man over there.
It's been a pleasure.
That's it, guys. We're out.